Hello there. Hey, everybody. James Arnold Taylor here. And I have not put a podcast out in a long time. And that's because there's been a lot going on in the world right now. And before there was a lot going on in the world, I was still not putting episodes out due to the fact that I kept recording episodes and then I'd go, I don't like that. I'm not going to. And, I was getting too off on tangents or serious tangents or what have you. And then this whole thing happened with the world, and it made it even harder because every time I'd go to put a podcast together, this stuff is going on, and I'd start going down rabbit holes of, my feelings about all of it and all of that, which I don't want to be negative. I want this to be an upbeat, fun place for you to escape and find some good quality entertainment as well as food for your soul. I want the James Arnold Taylor podcast to be some place where you go to escape some of the junk. So I've been having trouble recording an episode without kind of going down, like I say, the rabbit hole of all the stuff that's going on and giving my thoughts and opinions, which is not my job. My job is an entertainer. So I want to entertain you. So here's the thing. I started recording a lot of different episodes and never finished those episodes. So this episode is going to be the remnants of those. And then I will stop and then tell you, okay, that's as much as I recorded before I went down the rabbit hole. And here's another one. So there's at least 2 episodes, intros and everything that I recorded already over the last, several months of episodes that I'm going to play for you here. So this very first one you're going to hear is from, probably a month and a half ago when I started recording these. And this was way before any of this junk was really as big of a deal as it was. And I think you'll enjoy this. This is me talking about Obi-Wan Kenobi and this brainstorm idea I had with my buddy Joseph Scrimshaw and all of that. You'll enjoy that. Plus the intro. See, the intros of the James Arnold Taylor podcast are always my favorite parts. It's me joking around with my characters. And as you'll find out, because we're quarantined, the good news is about the show being called Talking to Myself. All the characters are me anyway, so it's all me talking to me anyway. So it doesn't matter. They're all here. We're all quarantined together. Anyways, so for you now, the first probably 15 minutes or so of the show after this little thing that I'm doing for you right now is going to be the beginnings of an episode that never finished. Then I'm going to break in and tell you, okay, here's another beginning of an episode that never finished. And then maybe, just maybe, I will figure out how to end this podcast and actually put it out for you all. So for you now, this is, it's episode 40. Well, Mr. Announcer Guy. Hey, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yeah, James.
You want to intro this one, even though you've introed it before?
I understand, yes. Give me some music, Mr. Music Man.
Yeah, Jerry the Music Man.
You got it, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's the James Arnold Taylor Podcast, Talking to Myself, the JATcast. Today, you're going to hear a bunch of shows that never really ended.
Yeah, okay, sure. That's a good way to put it, I guess. Oh, sorry, keep going.
So here we go. Take a listen to some past episodes that have never been heard from James Arnold Taylor.
All right, enjoy. Ooh, water. That's good water. Oh, you want to make sure you have water.
Water is the source of life. Water. In a world full of water.
No, I don't know. It is the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. In a world full of water, it's the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Talking to Myself is the name of the show. James Arnold Taylor is the host, and that happens to be me. Why do I call it Talking to Myself? Well, because all the characters on the show are me. So if I bring in my announcer guy, Mr. Announcer Guy, that's his name, Mr. Announcer Guy. Mr. Announcer Guy!
Oh, yes, James?
Then you're me.
Yeah, man, that's me.
No, me.
Me.
Yeah. Okay. But we're talking almost at the same time, but we're not talking at the same time because I'm switching back and forth as I do the voices. There's no secrets here, which may make it less exciting. It may make it more exciting for you to know that everybody is me. Why is it me? Well, so many people have wonderful podcasts where they interview wonderful people. And I love interviewing people. I've interviewed many people. But I find it easier to do a show on a regular basis if I can just tell my stories, talk to my characters, and I don't have to schedule them. Like Mr. Announcer Guy, you're always here when I need you.
Yeah, man. I'm here for you, James. Whatever you need, unless I'm doing other work.
Yeah. Well, we just finished a promo for Fox.
Yeah, but you didn't use me.
No, I used basically me. So I do promos. I'm a voice actor. I do promos for Fox, the animation domination voice.
Animation, domination, The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy.
All that. That's been me for many, many years. I've been doing that voice. And it's basically my buddy, Mr. Announcer Guy, who's here on the show.
Yeah, man, that's me.
But we just did a promo for Fox for Duncanville, a new show. I hope everybody watches it. Why? Because if you watch it and it's good, then they'll do more promos. And if they do more promos, then I work more. See? There you go. All right. Support James and the network, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. But of course. But I was doing a voice for Duncanville that is just basically my regular voice. Duncanville, tonight on Fox, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, and it gives me a chance to go and do other things.
Yeah, but you are me.
Yeah, man.
So you wouldn't go anywhere else. You'd be with me.
You're blowing my mind, dude.
Okay, me too. And we could bring in Hank, the engineer of the show, who pushes all the buttons to make sure the microphone levels are set and everything. Hey, Hank!
Hey, what? Oh, yeah, let me check the microphone. Hello.
Stop that.
That's how you test the microphone. You come on, you slam it around, and you say hello.
No, you don't. Don't give people the wrong idea about how to handle a microphone, Hank. You're an engineer. You're a sound audio engineer.
Boy, I feel so important now.
I know it's actually too big of a title for you.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Got to be honest, today I'm a little froggy. You hear it? I'm a little hazy. You know why? It's windy as all get out outside. And then it's sunny, and then it's windy, and then it's cold, and then it's hot, and then and my allergies are going crazy today. I say that a lot on this show. And I think it's weird how it seems like the days where the weather is the weirdest is the days that I record my show. Look at that. Although the one thing I guess I could be grateful for is it's not necessarily a day that I'm recording something else, a job, like I'm not going out doing a job. I was in a studio all day yesterday on the Disney lot. That's about all I can tell you. And that doesn't necessarily mean it was a Disney thing. See, studios, people might not know this. Studios will go to other, like Fox. When I go over to Fox, if I record stuff there, some shows are recorded on the Fox lot and they're not Fox shows. Did you know that? It could be a show on CBS, but they record on the Fox lot. Everybody uses different things. So Disney studios get rented out by different companies to be used for other things. So I wasn't necessarily yesterday working on a Disney project, as far as you know. I can't tell you because all the work I do is secretive until it's not. Maybe someday on this show I'll tell you what it was I was working on. But that'll be a good year from now, and then the chances of me remembering and you remembering is, whatever. Hey, Mr. Announcer Guy, we should have you introduce the show and get on with it, though, shouldn't we?
Yeah, man, let's do it. Absolutely, positively.
Oh, you're almost like Bob. Bob's another character on the show. Hey, Bob!
Oh, and dibbity-doo and dibbity-dee. Yes, hello. I read all the emails here on the James Arnold Taylor podcast, the JATcast.
That's right. So Bob is a character that comes in and reads the emails for me. Mr. Announcer Guy is the guy that introduces the show. Hank is the engineer that just annoys me.
What?
Nothing. Billy is our intern. Billy, hey, people love Billy. A lot of people love Billy, and I think they should. Billy's a lovely young man, a very nice young man. Billy!
Yes, sir, Mr. James, Sir James.
Yes, sir, Mr. James, Sir James? Mr. James, Sir James. I'm just going to let you start calling me that.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. James, Sir James, Mr. James, sir.
You're like repeating it?
Yes.
Okay. And people may not know that you and Bob are related.
Oh, and dibbity-doo and dibbity-doo and dibbity, yeah.
Oh, and dibbity-dee and dibbity-doo. Billy is my nephew.
That's right, and Bob's my uncle.
That makes me laugh. If you're a Brit, if you're from England, you know why that's funny. Bob's your uncle. it might not be that funny anymore. I don't know. I'm an old guy, so maybe people don't say that in London or Britain or the UK anymore. Do they? All my UK friends that listen, let me know. Do people still say, and Bob's your uncle? Bob's your uncle is like in a way of explaining something where you like to say, well, you slap that there, you put that there, you do this together, and you push that together, and Bob's your uncle. Kind of like, there you go. Right? All right. I don't know. So anyways, Billy and Bob are related. Hank, you're not related to anybody, are you?
Well, you can't tell?
What?
I'm related to Mr. Announcer Guy.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not. No, he's totally not.
That's right.
But, I got a brother.
You do? You've got a brother?
Yeah, his name's Hank.
You have a brother named Hank?
Well, it's a nickname.
Well, what's it short for?
It's short for Hanky.
You're making this up, aren't you?
No, actually, you're making it up.
Oh, that's right, because I'm just making it up as I go.
That's right.
Okay. People ask me that. I was on a podcast with my good friend Joseph Scrimshaw. Do you know Joseph Scrimshaw and his podcast called Obsessed? You should know it. It's a very good show. It's a fun podcast. Joseph you can all thank Joseph to a degree for me being a podcaster, I was very inspired by Joseph when I went and was a guest on his podcast many years ago. I remember leaving there going, now if I could do a podcast, because people were always asking me to do a podcast, I thought if I could do a podcast with the same level of respect for the craft of it as Joseph does, well, then I got something. Joseph is a great podcaster. He's a great comedian. He's a great writer, director, producer, performer, and he has a podcast called Obsessed, where he talks about various things, various shows or movies or books or what have you with special guests, and they talk about stuff. And so we just did one about Star Wars and some of the voices of Star Wars, which is a fun one. We had a great time. And then we had lunch afterwards and hung out as we do. And Joseph and I worked on something. You know what? I'm going to reveal something here.
Hey, man, are you going to let me introduce the show?
Oh, shoot. Yes. I'm sorry. Mr. Announcer Guy, you go ahead, introduce the show, and then I'm going to reveal a little surprise for all of the JAT Fellowship.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. All right, here we go. Cue that music, Jerry the Music Man.
Oh, and there's Jerry the Music Man, another character on the show.
Cueing the music for the JATcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Talking to myself, the JATcast. On today's show, Jat's gonna reveal something big after I make this introduction.
Right, so get on with it.
Yeah, man. So here he is, the same guy that's doing all the voices you're hearing, including this one, James Arnold Taylor!
Thank you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
You got it, man.
Are you gonna go now?
No, I'm gonna hang out and listen to the big announcement.
Oh. Well, I mean, now you're kind of building it up into something too big.
That's what I do. I'm an announcer guy.
That's true. All right. Well, all right. So everybody hang out and listen. So Joseph Scrimshaw and I did a podcast a while back, and I was talking about I would love to do a one-man Obi-Wan Kenobi show, like a one-man show. Like I have a one-man show called Talking to Myself, much like this show is called Talking to Myself. It's a stage show where I do all these voices, and many of you have seen it. You can see it on my YouTube channel. You can go to my website, jamesarnoldtaylor.com, and click on Stage Show, and then you can watch the various versions of my stage show that I do. So not that stage show, but a one-man Obi-Wan. I've always wanted to do a one-man Obi-Wan Kenobi show of Obi-Wan telling the story of Star Wars from episode 1 to episode 6. Not into the newer stuff, because Obi-Wan's not really a part of that story. Episode 1 through 6, as told by Obi-Wan Kenobi, from his point of view. And be on stage and dressed as Obi-Wan, and as though I'm sitting on Tatooine telling this story, and start it with, hello there, come this way, listen to this story, and all that. So I said this to Joseph while we were on a podcast. And he is a huge Obi-Wan fan, and he is a brilliant writer. And so we met a few times, and he wrote an amazing script that does exactly that, that somehow combines the stories of all 6 of the first Star Wars films into one 90-minute one-man show. And it's a really brilliant script. And I would love to read it somewhere and perform it live. Here's my dream, is to get my buddy Mark Hamill to direct it as a stage play and to take it like off Broadway. That's my dream. I'm giving you guys all this information now. You know why? Because for the last year, Joseph and I have been sitting on this script that he wrote, beautiful script, and I've been reaching out to all the various people and nobody gets back to me. And I know they won't approve it because, they got their own stuff. They've got the story team and they've got canon and they've got all that. However, here's the beautiful part of this story. It doesn't disrupt canon. It only emphasizes it, It's all using canon bits of the story, and it's just Obi-Wan from his point of view, the world of Star Wars, the story of Star Wars. Like, remember when 3PO's telling the Ewoks what happened and all that? It's kind of like that. And it would be a one-man show, and through it, I would change from young Obi-Wan to old Obi-Wan. By the end, there's twists and turns in it, too. Joseph is a brilliant writer. He wrote some twists and turns in there, even though it's a story you already know. And it's all just a story you already know. And we have this script, and I want to do it, but here's the problem. We don't own the rights to all this stuff. So we could only do one of two things. We could put it out as a unauthorized thing and put it on YouTube and on my channel and stuff. But I don't want them to be mad at me. Maybe we could start some little campaign here. Maybe we can get people excited about the possibility of it. What if we made it an audiobook, an audio story, like one of the radio stories? As the one actor that has played this character more than anybody for longer than anybody, I feel like I have a sense of the character in a way that would just be all I think of with this particular thing is it would be a wonderful extra little piece of Star Wars that, again, doesn't disrupt canon. And it gives all of you that are Obi-Wan fans a chance to hear more Obi-Wan and see more Obi-Wan. Gives me a chance as a lover of the character and an actor that's played it to portray him yet another way, in another fashion, on stage, in front of people. And let me tell you, this is no small task. This is 90 some odd pages of dialogue for me to memorize. That's a huge endeavor to do. This is huge, but I would be willing to do it for all of you. I would love to do it. I would love it if it had a little budget. I can see how it would look. We could use holograms and music and, all this stuff. And it would be a beautiful, wonderful production. But at the same time, we could make it a radio play, and that would be easier because then I wouldn't have to memorize it. And Joseph and I could produce it and put it out and put it maybe on this podcast. Maybe it's a special episode of the podcast. And then it goes to my YouTube channel as well. And it's just a radio play of me just telling the story of Star Wars through the eyes and ears and voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Maybe it's at Celebration, the upcoming Celebration, which everybody keeps asking, are you going? I have no idea. I'll have to see if they ask me. I certainly won't be hosting it because they don't ask me to host anymore. That's a story for another time. But maybe I could get a room, like a little room or a big room if there were a lot of you. And I could sit there with Joseph and we could tell the story of how we came up with it. And then I could read it, and it'd be a panel. We could turn it into a panel where I read the script or at least excerpts from the script for all of you that are interested in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Maybe that's a way to go. Maybe, but I wanted to do it last year at last year's celebration, but nobody returned my calls or emails there. Don't they know who I think I am? That's the problem when you are a voice actor in Hollywood. Okay, that is the end of an episode that I was starting to record and never finished. And I know you're all now excited about this possibility of this Obi-Wan thing. At that point, I started going down a rabbit hole that is not any for public consumption. So I ended that episode. Usually what happens when I do the podcast is sometimes I do that. I go down these rabbit holes and then I go back in and I edit them and I start over. But it's been so long since I recorded this and so much has changed in the world. I thought, I just need to be honest with y'all and say, okay, this was the beginning of an episode that I never finished. And now I'm about to play you the beginning of an episode that I started recording a couple of weeks ago, back when it first broke that we were all going to be kind of, quarantined for a while. I know people are saying, no, it's social distancing. It's not social distancing, it's quarantined because you're not really supposed to be in contact with anybody, which, whatever. I have my thoughts. I'm not getting into it. So what you're going to hear now that one was exciting, right? I think you're excited about that. And we'll see what happens. I'll be interested to see how many of you start talking about this Obi-Wan script that Joseph Scrimshaw and myself have done. And maybe now with the quarantine, maybe I should just see if Joseph and I can record it and put it out on my YouTube or as a version of this podcast, or maybe I'll start reading segments of it in the podcast and break it up through various episodes or something. You never know. There's a lot of production that would need to be done in it and a lot of music. The problem is the music is the biggest thing. Is that I would love to be able to use Star Wars music, and you can't do that. I can't do that on a podcast because I can't play that music without the rights. So, anyways, so what you're about to hear now is from a few weeks ago, right when the whole quarantine lockdown order started out here in California where I live, and before it all got crazy and to the point where we're all now hoarding toilet paper, and which, let me just say, I was not one of those people. So now when I run out, boy, I'm in trouble. Okay, anyways. All that craziness. Okay, anyways, I'm not going to get into it here. I'm going to instead have you take a listen to another episode that never became an episode, at least the beginning of it, and then I'll rejoin you for more here on the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Take a listen. Hello there, it's James Arnold Taylor. It's the JATcast, and it is just the way it is. Everybody's stuck inside. Everybody's doing all this stuff. And it's like, what can I do? Well, I'll record a podcast. And of course, the second I come into my studio to record, my neighbor's gardener decides to have his leaf blower just... And even though my studio is pretty well sound, dampened, it's not soundproof because, it's hard to get any place soundproof. And these gardeners with their blowers, it's insane. It is crazy. So if you hear a weed blower in the background, it's not you, it's here. But welcome to the show. My name is James Arnold Taylor. It's episode 12. Well, let's get Mr. Announcer Guy in here. Even though everybody's quarantined, we're all quarantined together here, all the voices that are in my head, because guess what? It's all me doing all the voices. That's the convenient thing about doing a podcast called Talking to Myself, where you do all the voices, even though there's multiple people coming into the room. So, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yes, James?
How you doing?
I'm doing as good as you, man.
Well, that's true. And I'm doing good. So, look, we're keeping our spirits up here in all of this.
Yeah, man, we're washing our hands.
Well, you have to wash your hands a lot because you're a voice person, just like me. I'm a voice person. The thing that's crazy about it for me, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yeah, man.
Is that, it's like wash your hands, don't touch your face, all these new rules that are rules that I've been doing for the last 34 years of my career as a voice actor. I've always just been very, very, obsessed with washing my hands and not touching things, and certainly not touching my face when I'm out. I don't really enjoy shaking hands because it's this, but also I have a little injury.
Yeah, you've got the politician's elbow.
That is about, what's funny about that, Mr. Announcer Guy?
What, man?
That's as political as I get. Because I always say I don't get political. And there's a lot of politics going on right now. And I hate it. I really hate it. Both sides. I hate it all. But as political as I get is the fact that I have what they call politician's elbow. And I got it from shaking hands at Comic-Cons for many years. And my arm getting kind of wrenched in different positions back and forth when you shake hands and people wanting to shake your hand. So it actually hurts when I shake hands. But also, I don't like shaking hands just because of the spread of germs. So I've been doing this for years. I'm way ahead of the curve,
Yeah, man, me too.
Yeah, and see, when you talk, you put your hand up to your ear, like the old Gary Owens, and you do that whole thing.
Yeah, that's so I can hear myself better.
If people don't know what I'm talking about, they can go to my YouTube channel. Some of you may be listening to this on YouTube, and you can go through the videos. You'll find a video of me doing this show, the JATcast, talking to myself, a little half-hour version of it, where you can see me doing all the voices live here in my studio, and you can see what it's like. Because I'm actually working on doing some live streamings here, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Yeah, man. Am I going to get to the intro of the show?
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to introduce the show? Go ahead and introduce the show, and then I'll say what I was saying about the live streams.
You got it, man. Cue that music, Jerry the Music Man.
You got it, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Hang on. No, hang on.
Oh, wait, Hank. Hank's coming. What?
I gotta check the microphone for Mr. Announcer Guys first, so yeah.
Hello. Okay, stop it. Stop it. It's fine.
Yeah, man, the microphone works great. All right, I just want to do my job there. All right, re-cue that music there, Jerry, music guy, move, man, dude.
Guy move man, dude?
Yeah, the guy that plays the music, Jerry's.
Jerry.
Whatever.
All right, Jerry, go ahead and play the music again. Start it over.
Okie dokie, James. Here we go. In 3, 2.
He didn't say one.
No, we've been over this before. If you've listened to the show before, you don't say one. You say 3, 2, and then you pause and point.
Yeah, but then how do you know there's one?
Look, talk to Billy. Billy's had this conversation before.
Oh, no, it's very true, Mr. Hank. Yes, you go 3, 2.
No, you don't go 3, 2, and make a noise. You stay silent. That way there's no sound when you come in. And so I'm sorry, Jerry. We got to re-cue the music.
Okay, James. Here we go. In 3, 2.
Mr. Announcer Guy, you're not going.
Well, I thought for sure Billy or Hank was going to say something and interrupt the whole 3, 2, no saying one.
No, okay, hang on. Let's just start over. Let's start over. Everybody's it's a little crazy in here. Okay. We're going to introduce the show, talking to myself. All right. Ready? Jerry, go ahead and cue me. Billy?
Yes.
Hank?
Yeah.
Don't interrupt. He's going to, in fact, you know what? Jerry, don't even say 3, 2, 1. Just say cueing the music and then cue the music and then just hit it. And once it starts, Mr. Announcer Guy knows his cue. He knows he'll come in.
You got it, James. Here you go, cueing the music for the JATcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's the James Arnold Taylor talking to myself. Oh, now I messed it up.
All right. You've never done that before.
I know, I got so, fumbled and bumbled by everything before. Start over.
All right, let's start. Wow. Okay, Jerry, cue the music again.
Here you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's the James Arnold Taylor podcast, talking to myself, the JATcast. Yeah, he did it!
Okay, don't interrupt. No, we gotta start over again if you do that too much.
Oh, yes, Mr. Hank, don't you?
Would you guys just let me finish?
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
So now, here he is, the same guy that's doing all the voices you're hearing, including this one, James Arnold Taylor!
Whew, we actually got through it. We got through it. Thank you, Mr. Announcer Guy.
You got it, man. I'm going to disinfect now.
Okay, all right. Disinfect now. Everybody disinfect. And that is where we're going to stop that one. That was the opening. I love that opening. I think that's a funny opening. And I was like, I can't not have that opening on the show. So there you go. There's 2 episodes of podcasts that you never really got to hear before. Where that one goes after that, I ranted for another 15 minutes about my feelings about this whole pandemic and stuff. And I'm not going to get into it because it just, that's not what you listen to my podcast for. You listen to my podcast to be inspired. So I want to inspire you. Hey, I can talk about a lot of the things I've been doing while I've been here at home. Many things. We play games, we watch movies. We've been cleaning out stuff. I went through, I don't know if you've seen my Instagram. I have been posting pictures on my Instagram of stuff. I have boxes of old things from my childhood, toys and journals and school reports and report cards and all these things. And pictures, but tons and tons of drawings because I've always been an artist. If you don't know about my art, go to my website, jamesarnoldtaylor.com, click on JAT Art, and you can see a lot of my art, although I need to update that. I need to put some new paintings on. Go to my Instagram. You can see I just did a painting last week. I've been doing a lot of painting. I paint scripture. Look, I'm a wacky Christian. I'm one of those wacky people that believes in Jesus and the Bible and all that stuff, and that's me, and that's the way I live, that's the way I breathe, that's the way I walk. That is my goal in life, is to live and breathe the Word of God and to put that out to as many people as I can. And yeah, a lot of people in Hollywood think I'm kind of crazy for that, but you know what? I want to be, I think most people also think I'm a pretty normal person, and I want to be a normal example of Christianity to people, because guess what? The millions upon millions of people in the world that are Christians are pretty normal people. They're just your neighbors and stuff, and hopefully the difference is that they're praying for you when you don't know it, and they're praying for all of us, and that's certainly what I'm doing. I'm praying for everybody. I want everybody to be healthy and happy and okay. And I know that's not realistic, but neither is shutting down the entire world for a virus. But okay, that's as far as I'm going to go on that. Anyways, yeah, I'm a Christian, and so I paint. I paint scripture. I paint scripture because it makes me feel good. My house is filled with paintings of positive words from the Proverbs and the Psalms and the Bible. Positive things. And if you don't know the Bible, take a look at it. I know a lot of people think it's outdated, it's crazy, it's make-believe, or it's negative, or any of that. It's none of those things. If you know how to read it and take it in, and if you open your eyes and open your heart to let God allow you to perceive it the right way. So that's as far as I'll go on that. But that's what I do. So I've been spending a lot of time painting scriptures and stuff. I enjoy that. But so I found boxes of my old stuff and cartoons and things that I did and drawings, and I'll be posting more of them on Instagram. I found one of some old Indiana Jones stuff. A lot of people were like, oh, I didn't know you were a Raiders of the Lost Ark fan. No, look, I'm an actor that works in Star Wars as the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi and many others, but first and foremost, yes, I was a Star Wars fan. And then in 1981, 82, I guess, Raiders of the Lost Ark came out and changed my life forever. That movie was it for me. That is the stuff for old Jat, man. I lived and breathed Indiana Jones. I have bullwhips, and I learned how to use the bullwhips. I could knock a pin off the head of a cactus or whatever, with my bullwhip. I got really good at the bullwhip. And I had my Indiana Jones hats and my leather jacket and my all the stuff, and I would play that. And me and my buddies in like 5th and 6th grade, I wrote a script for a thing. What did I call it? Indiana Jones and the Idol of Death. And you can see it on my Instagram. I posted. I didn't post the script because I'm embarrassed to show all that. Although it was pretty good. I read through it. It's like, it wasn't bad. It was just, I was a 5th grader, 6th grader, typing a script. But anyways, we had all these great visions of doing it and shooting it on my Super 8 camera and all that. And this is way before technology could allow it, because this was, like I say, back in 1982. So I found lots of that stuff. I found a lot of drawings. I've been posting drawings of things that I used to draw, like X-Men and Spider-Man and all these characters. And I loved it. I was a goofy kid. Snoopy, I drew lots of Snoopy and Peanuts. I'll post some of those up there soon too, probably. And I posted a couple articles about me in the newspaper, the local newspapers, and my high school newspaper when I became a DJ back when I was 17. So I've been going through all those things, and we've been organizing stuff. We have a lot of things. Look, I'm also going to break some news here. I was planning, before all of this changes in the world, I was very, very seriously considering moving out of California, which is my home state. I was born and raised in Santa Barbara, California, and moving out of California and moving to Nashville, Tennessee. Actually to Franklin, Tennessee, to be more specific. Franklin, Tennessee, and packing up everything, selling our house. And our house was on the market before all of this pandemic hit. And we were ready to sell and move to Tennessee because I love it in Tennessee, and I was ready for a change. And I was feeling a bit frustrated with things in the world of Hollywood and everything. And then a couple weeks before all of this pandemic hit, I felt, now again, I'm a person of prayer, so I'm going to talk about my prayer life and stuff. And I spent a lot of time on my knees. That when I don't know what to do, I pray. And guess what? As somebody that has spent their adult life doing that, I've always gotten answers. So for those of you that go, I don't know about God, I will say this, for me, the reason why I'm a Christian, the reason why I believe in God is he's never let me down and he answers all my prayers. And a couple weeks before all of this insanity hit, I got a very strong feeling in prayer to take our house off the market, and that God said, not now. It's not the time to move. It's not the time to move. So we took our house off the market. A couple days later, a tornado hit Tennessee. And then a week or two later, all this hit. And we realized, it wasn't the time. And look, the tornado hitting Tennessee was not a reason to not move there. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I was saying. My prayers were with what I felt that was I know people there now, because I do. I've made friends there. We've been traveling there a lot and such. And my prayers and my heart went out to all of the people. And then the lives lost there as well from the tornado. So it allowed me to better pray for them and all of the folks there, and allowed me to better sympathize with them. And then all of this hit, and I went, oh, it would be impossible to sell my house during this pandemic, and it's just not the right time. And I need to be a light where I can be, when I can be, however I can be. And if that means I need to be a light in Hollywood, in a very, very dark place, in a very, very godless place. And yes, some of you may be listening, maybe in that and or in Hollywood and stuff, or my friends, if my friends listen to this podcast, that are like, James is a wacky Christian. Yeah, look, I am. You can call me what you want. I love the Lord. That's it. And I love all of you. I love humanity. And I really, really, really want the best for everybody. That's really what I want. That's what my heart aches for. It's for goodness and mercy, because I grew up seeing a lot of the bad of humanity. And I want the good for humanity. I want the best for everybody. I want the best for each and every one of you. I believe in every single one of you. I believe that each and every one of you has a gift, a God-given gift to change the world, to change your world. It doesn't need to be the whole world. It needs to be your world, the world that affects you. And I believe that, and I truly believe in all of you. I am so blessed to be able to talk to you in this. And that's why it bums me out I haven't been able to do the podcast lately. But these are the things that were going on in my life. I was planning on moving, had my house on the market. I was planning on moving and changing up what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. I was going to have to, do all my recording remotely. Guess what? Now I have to do all my recording remotely anyways because of this pandemic. Really funny how that works that way. But everybody, I was ahead of the curve. I've been saying for years that casting and Hollywood and everybody should just let actors that have good home studios record from their home studios. And they're like, no, we can't do that. And now guess what everybody's doing? Hey, can you record from your home studio right now? Because we don't want to stop production. So I've been working on all my projects from my home studio, which is a professional home studio. It's not a closet with a USB mic plugged into it. It is a professional studio. You all have seen my studio if you've gone online and seen it on my YouTube channel and stuff. There's a studio tour I do on one of the YouTube videos and such, and you can see that it's a full functioning video and audio facility. Because I know my stuff and I know how to do it, and I'm a geek for all of it. I love it all. And I just, this is what I do. I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm an expert in that I've done it for, 26 years. I've had a home studio, and so I know what I'm doing in that. So that's all I'm saying is, I've got the goods here at the home studio. And the funny thing is now I'm able to record from home. So there you go. Are you drinking your water? Woo! Yeah, drink that water, man. Water is the source of life. Here's a big thing during the pandemic. Drink your water. Why? It's going to flush your system. Here's the other thing to remember. Many of you may be going, gosh, do I have this coronavirus? Do I have COVID-19? You probably have allergies, and you probably have cold or flu symptoms from the weather and the allergies in the air. My voice is scratchy right now, as it's been for a while because of allergens, because it's raining outside right now. And then a few days later, it'll be sunny and then it'll be raining again. And all of us in our house, we're experiencing some allergies, but we do not have COVID-19. We have allergies. So that's the bummer about when a thing like this hits, a virus like this hits, is many people's immune systems were already lowered because of allergens and things in the air and the cold and flu symptom. It's a regular cold and flu symptom. Remember, the flu, the usual flu, kills tens of thousands of people across the United States every year. I am not trying to sound negative or like a downer or saying anything. All I'm saying is remember that when all of you are worried about this and you're looking on Twitter, first off, do not get your news from Twitter. Do not Do not get your news from Twitter. Look, I like Twitter. I use Twitter to talk to all of you. But Twitter should be a social thing to say, hey, I get to talk to a celebrity. Hi, how are you? I like your work. Thank you so much. Happy birthday. Or, have a good day. Or congratulations on this, that, or the other. That's what it should be used for. A way for celebrities and people that are writers and producers and bloggers and all of that to communicate with regular folk. It should not be a place where we get our news. You know why? Because it is filled with a bunch of garbage. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Negative, anxiety-ridden, depression-ridden, scare you to death garbage. So do not read news on Twitter. It's full of angry people saying angry things that want to hurt and condemn anyone and everyone they can. Get away from it unless you're going to go on there and look and see what's happening in Clone Wars or Final Fantasy or Ratchet and Clank or any video games or things you like, and tell the actor that's in that, hey, I love your work, and have them go, cool, man, thanks so much, because that's the cool part of Twitter. The cool part of Twitter is that all of us voice actors are actually on there. We look at it and we can interact with you. So when you send a thing asking James Arnold Taylor to give you a birthday greeting or something, that's really me saying happy birthday with the little birthday cake and the streamers and the stuff and, all of that. That's what Twitter's for. It's not for receiving our news. It is not for learning what's going on in the world. Turn on the news, get a newspaper or, and find reliable sources. And then remember this. Here's the biggest thing to remember about the news. And I'm sorry, I'm going down the rabbit hole again here, but even the people that make the news are fallible and are regular people with thoughts and emotions of their own. Nobody is above their own feelings and emotions and expressing those. It's impossible in this day and age, the way the media is. So you have to take everything with a grain of salt. You have to be able to have some faith outside of it. That's why I have my Christian faith. Sorry, there's a blender going on in the background. My wife and daughter are making smoothies. You could, if you hear something in the background. So you have to, my faith is also what helps me get through it. I take and sift the information that I get from varied news sources and look at that and go, what is making the most sense? You cannot spend your day on this thing obsessing about the numbers of people that have died and the numbers of spread in your community, in your area. Because the other thing is, I'll just give you a quick example. In our county where we live, they put out this big in a local newspaper about, how many cases and how many deaths. And there were 7 deaths. And they went on and on and on about the deaths and deaths and deaths. And then at the end of it, they went, by the way, all 7 were people over the age of 78 and had pre-existing conditions. And it looks as though they then contracted this and it's what took their lives. So tragic. And my heart and my prayers and my love go out to each and every one of those people and their families. But when the newspaper wants to glorify the deaths, 5 dead, 6 dead, 7 dead, and not go, but these folks were already ill and they very well may have passed from their pre-existing conditions. And this, look, it's terrible that this happened. But I hope you all understand what I'm saying, and I hope I don't start getting hate mail or anything like that about saying the truth. Know the truth about all of this before you assume, and do not get caught up in the news, okay? Do not get caught up in all the death and dying and the scary stuff. We've got to be able to move on and also think positively. And look, positive thinking helps. Negative thinking lowers your immune system. Scientists will agree with that. Doctors, Western medicine, whatever, everybody will agree with that. That stress causes immune suppression. So you don't want to get stressed out about this stuff that you have no control over. I got to tell you, we stopped looking at the news except once a week. We check the headlines. And again, reputable sources, don't go on Twitter. And we look at the facts of what's really happening, and then we weigh that against what we're seeing in our own lives. And that's how we're supposed to live our lives, everybody, okay? You cannot expect everyone else to figure it out for you. We have to figure things out on our own. We have to, again, if you're someone of faith, ask God to guide your heart and mind and soul. If you're not, find out what you believe, why you believe it. know and have answers that are not just filled with people that are angry and want to blame somebody or want to blame the president or this, that, or the other. That is no way a political statement on my part about the president or anything else, because I don't get political. I'll tell you, the honest truth is I stopped being political years ago when I saw the mess that it was all causing, where the two sides were extremists on both sides. So I'm not a political person. But I do think we need to respect all offices of government, but we also need to understand that all these people are just people. They're just people, and they're trying to get through and survive just like all of us. So let's all come together and pray for them. Whether you love them or hate them, pray for the president. Whether you love or hate your Congress people or your governors or your politicians, pray for them if you're someone of faith. Okay? Pray. And if you're not, pray. Come on. Pray that they all make good decisions with proper information. Pray for the medical community to find facts and truth and a true vaccine and all of that stuff. Pray for hope. Pray for hope. Pray for hope. Because what we have to remember is, here's what I think happens to us as a society with all this technology and all this stuff that we know. We think we're smarter than every generation that passed before us. We're not. We're the same. All generations, you cannot sit there and say, 200 years ago, they were a bunch of idiots. No, they just didn't have all that we have. And that was because they were finding it. We wouldn't have any of what we have if 200 years ago, people didn't discover things, that could then create all of the technology that we have. So you have to remember, it's all microevolutionary in that sense. I'm not an evolutionist. I'm saying it's microevolution. I believe in microevolution, which means you can't get this without getting that first. That starts a whole, snowball effect. So sorry, I'm getting deep. I've tried not to, but I'm not going to cut this part out. This is my little rant. We all have to breathe and take in and not go, we're smarter than any generation before. All the generations before us got us to where we're at. So we have to remember, all the other generations have survived pandemics. And yes, a lot of people have passed from them, but also a lot of people have survived from them. And what made us all great as humanity, not just as America. Of course, I'm an American, but I know many people are listening to this all over the world. What we all have to remember as humanity is the fight in us to get through, fight through, and survive things no matter what. That is stronger than cowering in our houses with masks and gloves on. That's all I'm going to say about it. I'm somebody that has suffered from immune suppression and problems for 15 years after being exposed to black toxic mold. For 15 years, I have been already walking in this wash your hands, don't touch your face, don't go out if you have a cold, be mindful of other people, be respectful of others if you have any illness or anything like that. I have lived that. I have eaten healthy. The one thing they're not telling you right now, while everybody's stuck at home, is eat as healthy as you can. Drink as much water as you can. Go outside, get vitamin D, because that you do not want to become vitamin D deficient. Take supplements to help get vitamin C in your body. Get good vitamins and minerals and good food. Take this time to eat less food and good food. Because I'll tell you what, when I go to the grocery store, the one thing that's not lacking, you can go down all those middle aisles and all the canned goods and the crackers and the junk is all gone. But you know what's still there? Fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. That's the stuff you should be eating and living on if you're worried about your immune system and you want to be healthy. Eat and drink good stuff during this time. Use this to get healthy and to feel and believe and be healthy, but don't just stay inside, because that can lower your immune system. By huddling inside, worrying while watching the news, not going to help you. Go into your backyard, go for a walk. If there's too many people where you live, because you live in a very urban area, yes, I get, wear a mask when you go out, but go for a walk, get some vitamin D. If it's sunny out, wear short sleeves and wear shorts, get vitamin D into your system. So if your face is covered by a mask, at least you're getting some vitamin D. Sit out there, let the sun bake into you for a bit. Take it in. They have found that UV light, they're using UV lights to kill off because they're having to reuse masks and gloves and things, and they're putting them under UV lights to kill all the germs. And they've said, I read an article today saying that UV light helps kill the COVID-19 stuff off of masks and everything. So what does that mean? UV light is what? The light we get from the sun. Go out and get some sunshine, get some vitamin D, stay healthy, okay? Okay, and no, I'm not saying the sun is just going to kill COVID-19. I'm saying getting sunshine is healthy for your body. That's what I'm saying. It's healthy for you. I'm frustrated because, again, as somebody that has lived this way for the last 15 years already, we have to take all the big picture into consideration. I don't want you to be worried. I want you to be positive. I want you to feel good. I want you to find this as a time to do new, good, big, exciting things and to pursue your dreams, okay? I want this to be a good time for you. Find stuff that inspires you still, okay? Music. Music. I can't tell you how much music we've been listening to in the Taylor house during this whole thing. Let me go through some of my... We listen to playlists. Ooh, I got this. I will tell you this. There's a brand of speakers, like Bose and all the various Sony make different speakers and stuff. There's a brand called Klipsch. I think it's Klipsch. Klipsch. You can look it up on klipsch.com. And they make wonderful products of speakers and surround sound systems and stuff. And I just got I used some of my credit card points and I got some speakers. And I got this one called The 3 by Klipsch. Now, I get nothing for saying any of this, but I got to tell you what, man. It's a speaker, and it looks retro, and our house is kind of retro in areas and stuff, and old style. And over by my turntable, I got it. I'll have to post a picture of it on my Instagram. This little device, man, and it's Bluetooth, and you can plug in a turntable to it. It is got awesome sound. It is awesome. And so we've been listening to music on that. I've been putting my instrumental. I have a playlist in my iTunes called Instrumental where I have some of my favorite soundtracks and music in there that are just instrumental pieces. And we play that while we're making dinner because we're cooking all our meals as we always have. See, again, 15 years of living healthy and eating right because of immune suppression due to black toxic mold. I've already learned all this stuff. I make all my meals from home. I have fresh vegetables and steamed rice and a good protein. And we're just enjoying each other's company, and then we'll sit at the table. We've always sat at the table. This is what we do. So I hope some of you are getting around and doing that as a family. I know many of you, I've gotten emails from many of you saying, family and stuff, and it's hard being cooped up at home. And one letter I read recently from a fella that was saying that, I know we normally have Bob come in and read letters and stuff, but from Graham was telling me, Graham in the USA was saying that he's, now he's back home and he loves his family and such, but, it's hard because here he was in college and he was ready to get out there and kind of take on the world, I should say. And now he's back home and having to stay. Graham, hang in there, buddy. Okay. My prayers and love and respect go to you, and just know that your parents are trying. Everybody's trying. Everybody's stressed. We're all stressed right now. People are worried and stressed. And I just want you all to be encouraged. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding, if you can. Okay? If you're believers, get that Bible out and remember that. For those of you, okay, here's my little look. It's Good Friday today. So listen to Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be." Meaning, God's got this. Psalm 103:11-13, "For as high as the heavens are above the earth, so great is his love for those who fear him." Fear him does not mean like, I'm afraid. Fear him means reverence, respect him, who believe in him. As far as the east is from the west, which, by the way, is infinite. So far has he removed our transgressions from us. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. Again, that's not fear like, I'm afraid of him. It's respect for him. Respect that he is the creator of all things. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's beautiful. 1 John 1:9 says, "If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just and will forgive us our sins and purify us from all unrighteousness." I know some people can say, well, what is that? That sounds a little funky. No, all it's saying is, if you believe in God and tell him, I believe in you, he goes, come here, buddy. Come here, sweetie. I'm here for you, and I'm going to help you. And I'm going to be in your heart, and you're going to feel peace. That's what he's saying. Isaiah 41:10, so do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's where I get comfort. See, I think a lot of us are feeling like we're not finding peace because we're getting caught up in it. Don't get caught up in it. In other words, trust that God has got this. For centuries, since the dawn of time, he's had it. He's got it under his control. And we can't play God. We can't play God, okay? We can't. We have to just trust that it's going to be okay. Breathe. Look, I'll tell you one thing I really, really, really recommend everybody that is listening to this podcast to do. To go to the App Store and find an app called the 1 Minute Pause app. And it's by John Eldredge. And John Eldredge is, so there's many of them called the Pause app, but this one is called it's called 1 Minute Pause. Okay. And it's a lifestyle one. And it is by Ransomed Heart. 1 Minute Pause. If you're a believer, you need this app, especially during this time. John Eldredge is someone I've met before. Alan Arnold is a dear friend of mine, and he works for John and Ransomed Heart Ministries. And they have put together an amazing app to help you refocus and recenter. You can do either 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 minutes a day. Pausing. I do it multiple times throughout the day. When I start getting caught up in all of this and frustrated by everything that's happening, I go to the Pause app. My wife and I start it every morning with the 10-minute version. And the 10-minute version is great because you can choose different ways to go. You can either worship, you can ask for guidance, you can ask for, connection with God. They're just wonderful pauses, meditations to center you on God rather than all the junk. So I highly, highly recommend all of you get 1 Minute Pause app by John Eldredge and Ransomed Heart at the App Store, okay? It's a fantastic one. I also highly recommend you subscribe to encounteringpeace.org, encounteringpeace.org. Drew Dickens created this, and it is a daily meditation, a 15-minute meditation, and we do it daily, and we contribute to his ministry. If you listen to these, even if you can give him $5 a month, whatever, help him, because this man does this out of the goodness of his heart, and he creates these beautiful meditations, and he does a different one every day of the year. That's a huge undertaking to write, voice, and produce 15-minute meditations that are daily, that go out every single day. So it is a beautiful meditation. It's based on scriptures, and he has it's a great way to recenter and to go, you know what? Everything's going to be okay. So I have found by getting away from the media, checking the headlines from reliable sources once a week, because not much is changing right now, getting away from all that and getting into the stuff I do, painting, shooting videos. I shot those videos of me playing cards. If you don't know about those, check them out on my YouTube channel. There's still some more of them I'm going to put out. I need to put out more of them. But so many things to do: writing, painting, breathing, being there with family, enjoying each other with family, and then getting time away from each other too. Taking a walk individually, getting outside, sitting in your backyard, breathing in the air, getting some vitamin D, breathing, drinking water, eating as healthy as you can. Not just junk food right now. Okay, budgeting. Go through your budget. You want a good budget app? The Every Dollar app by Dave Ramsey and Ramsey Solutions is a brilliant app to get on budget. Right now, people are worried about their money. We've been doing this app for a long time, and it's fantastic. There's so many resources right now, and there's so many positive things you can be doing with your time and your life right now during all of this. So do it. Look, I may or may not keep all the stuff I've said in this podcast. I may cut some of that out earlier. I was ranting and raving about all this. It's because I love all of you. I love humanity. I love the fellowship we have here, and I don't want people worrying. There's enough to worry about. And we don't need to. There's always something to worry about if you really want to worry. But you know what? There's also so many beautiful things in this life to rejoice about. Okay? Oh my goodness, we've gone on for a while here. Oh, we have so many emails and things, and I want to answer your emails and stuff. What I also really want to do is I want to try to set up a I got this stuff to do live streams, and I'm going to try to do them. Here's the deal. I know I've been promising phone calls and live streams and all that for a long time. The truth is things are just busy. And as much as I want to do all of it, it's really hard because it just gets busy. Life is just getting busy. And having to edit these things and put them together has taken a lot of time. I still have videos of me playing cards that I want to edit and put up on my website. But having time to spend with my family and do my work and then do the things that I love doing, as well as all of this, which I love doing, has been a tricky thing there. So trying to do that. I'm probably going to do a podcast with Catherine Tabor again soon here. We've been talking about that for a long time, but her and I were on the phone yesterday talking about it. So much more to come for James Arnold Taylor fans. Here's what I would say in the meantime. Please follow me, please subscribe, and please spread the word. Look, there are 44 episodes of this podcast out now. There are many episodes of Clone Wars Conversations, A Certain Point of View, hundreds and hundreds of videos on my website, or on my YouTube channel, I should say. Hundreds and hundreds of videos, a daily inspirational video for you every single day of the year based on my book, JAT365, on my YouTube channel. There is so much to spread the good news of what I am trying to do. And what I would ask of all of you that listen is please give it a positive rating, a good rating, a 5-star rating on iTunes. Put positive comments, no thumbs downs, thumbs ups on YouTube, positive comments from me, from you all for me, and spread the word about all this. The one thing I get all the time, which I don't understand, is I have a lot of friends that have videos and channels and stuff, and they get hundreds of thousands of views on their videos. And I was on my friend Butch Hartman's one. Butch has over 100,000 subscribers. He's great. I love him. I was happy to be on the videos I did with him where we looked at people doing impressions of Obi-Wan, which is really fun if you don't know about it. Got over 100,000 views. And I put videos out, and I get about 600 views. I get maybe 1,000 views. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Maybe I'm just not doing it right on YouTube and stuff. And I'm sure many of you are going to give me opinions of that now. I've never, all I've tried to do is just put this stuff out and make it available for people. But I do know also that I would really love it if it reached more people, because I do believe I have a positive outlook on life. And I would love to spread that outlook to people, because I do also see how all of you that have kind of embraced the JAT Fellowship and this podcast and my videos and things on YouTube and such, you love it, or have seen my stage show, and everybody loves it. Nothing I've done is a failure, yet the numbers of people that have seen everything are small in comparison. And so I'd love to get more views. So really, it's up to so many of you to spread. And I know it's like, look, I have more followers than all of you. So it's like, well, James, if you can't get the followers on yours, how are mine? It's just going to be grassroots. It's just, one person at a time, spreading the word and going, check this guy out. You might like him. He's really cool. So, many of you that are Christian, spread the word to other Christians, I don't know. I'd love to see all of this spread more than all the virus and all the junk that's out there spread. So if one person can make a difference in that, one person can make a difference in the positive. And that's what I'm trying to do, is make a difference in hundreds of thousands, if not millions of lives. That would be my goal, in seeing a life that started in a very negative way and experienced a lot of very negative things, take his life and turn it into a very positive and affect people positively. And that's what my life has been. And that's what I want to do for all of you. So when I say I believe in you, I mean it. And I have proof that it makes a difference staying positive, because my life is proof. And that's what I want to spread to all of you. So God bless you all. Thank you for listening. Kind of a goofy episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try to come up with more of them soon. I'm going to try, everybody. I'm going to try to put more podcasts out. It's just been, it's been a struggle to get them out. And with the busyness of my life, the craziness of possibly moving, but now I'm not moving. I'm staying put for a while. And I know some of you will be upset with that, because a lot of people are sending me things. Get out of Hollywood, James. Here's the way I look at it. God is using me to be a light in Hollywood. I want to be a light in a dark place. And that's what we're called to be. So if I can be a light in this very dark place of Hollywood, where so many people are obsessed with the self and money and materialistic things and all of that, well, then that's what I'll do. And that's why I'm here. I love you all. I thank you all. May the Force be with you. May you check out all the stuff. I hope you're enjoying Clone Wars. I hope you're watching all the stuff on my YouTube channel, spreading the word, and that's it for now. I'll be back soon with more, okay? God bless you. God bless you all. May the Lord bless and keep each and every one of you. And those of you that don't believe, please take a moment to search your heart and see if there's room for you to believe in God. It's not about James. It's not about me. It's not about pushing religion on you. It's about taking a moment to go, you know what? Maybe there's something to it. This guy, James Arnold Taylor, seems to have his life pretty well together. And he's saying that the reason it is because of faith in God. So if there's room in your heart, just take a moment and say, God, I've tried it on my own. I can't do it. I'd like you to come in and help me. If you're real, please show me. That's all you got to do. And then wait. Wait and see. He'll make a move. He loves you. Whether you love him or know him or not, he loves you. God bless you all.
Talking to Myself, the James Arnold Taylor Podcast is a production of Yumigo Inc., recorded at JAT Studios. Engineered, written, recorded, and produced by, you guessed it, James Arnold Taylor. All voices are parody and should be construed as entertainment only. All music and sound effects used with permissions and licenses through Backtracks, Digital Juice, Production Tracks, and Partners in Rhyme. James Arnold Taylor's Talking to Myself, the Podcast. Copyright 2020, all rights reserved.
Bye-bye.